The choice is yours. And please give a round of applause for Dinh Thanh Khoi from Greenwich, Vietnam.
Ladies and gentlemen, anger is like a small and harmless flame inside. It's a natural emotion of being human to respond to negative situations. So, it's very normal to express our anger when we feel uncomfortable or threatened. However, this emotion could be a big problem if we usually get angry without good reasons, or we cannot control our anger, causing aggressive or violent behaviors. And in this case, our flame grows out of control and has the power to burn the entire forest to ashes. And let me tell you my story about how my uncontrolled flame burns down my relationship with my ex-girlfriends. This happened about 2 years ago. At that time, I was in a long-distance relationship while dealing with the mountain of deadlines. The pressure from the deadlines and the pressure to balance my time for school, for family, and my girlfriend left me constantly tired. So I easily got angry with everyone. One night, my girlfriend and I were having a video call like we usually did. Suddenly, she started complaining that I didn't spend much time with her. And she said something that triggered my anger. Khoi, you're so careless. The word careless hit my ego right away. And boom, instead of staying calm and listening to her, I lost my control and said things without thinking. And then she cried. A few seconds later, she hung up on me. 1 week later, we broke up. For months after that, I kept asking myself the same question again and again. If I had stayed a little calmer, if I had listened more carefully, and if I had responded more wisely, would I still lost the girl who truly loved me? You can see that anger often pushes us to react immediately just to release the discomfort we feel inside. But in that angry moment, we hardly realize that our anger can lead to painful consequences for both ourselves and others. And over time, I learned that this story was not only about me, but the problem of the young generation nowadays. My friends and many young people out there struggle in their relationship, in teamwork, or simply in connecting with others because they cannot control their anger. According to a lot of researchers, there are many factors that can trigger our anger, just like different ways to make the flame burn stronger. The first factor is academic and working pressure. As you can see in the image, the gasoline can is slowly poured into the flame. The more fuel that is added, the bigger the fire becomes. In the same way, when we face too much pressure from school and work, we may become hot-tempered and may start to act aggressively to everyone. These pressures come from the condition of increasing youth unemployment that we are studying and working under. Therefore, we push ourselves to study all night long, work for many hours, and compete intensely to get into our dream universities or to survive in the workplace. The pressure makes it hard for young people to stay calm. So even a small mistake or dissatisfying thing from others can cause an emotional explosion, leading to loss of control. In addition to pressure, adolescent impulsivity can also trigger anger in young people. One image that reminds me of this is the wind. Wind comes and goes very quickly, and we cannot force it to move in the direction we want. Young people going through the adolescent period are similar. At this stage, we may become our emotions may become stronger, and many of us act quickly without thinking carefully about the consequences. We may break rules, react impulsively, and easily get into arguments or conflicts. We may say this clearly, and many news stories today, where more and more young people respond to conflicts with aggression and violence instead of peaceful solutions. The actions can lead to negative results not only for those involved, but also for many others around them. And the last factor, the factor that young people usually don't know is the reason causing them become aggressive and lose control, is childhood trauma. Traumas are formed from adverse childhood experiences, like witnessing violence, being abused, or being treated badly by others. Even though the experiences happened in the past, their impact quietly remain inside and weaken our ability to manage our emotions. To me, childhood traumas are like glowing amber hidden under ashes. On the surface, everything looks cold and harmless. But when the ashes are removed, the fire can burn more intensely. Childhood trauma works in the same way. In our daily lives, we may not know the existence of our childhood traumas, but it takes a careless word or action from someone else, touching that hidden pain, we may explode with anger and use hurtful word or action against the person in front of us. So, when we look at these three factors, pressure, impulsivity, and trauma, we can see how easily the flame of anger can grow stronger and stronger. And when the flame of anger grows out of control, it becomes a wildfire. It spreads quickly and burns down many valuable things in our lives that are our relationships, our mental well-being, and even our physical health. But if we learn how to control our flame, it becomes a torch that lights our path. This torch represents our calmness and thoughtful reactions whenever someone makes a mistake or annoys. So, now I would like to share 3 simple tips that help us as young people control our anger and keep our torch burning steadily. May I share it now? Not really excited. One more time. May I share it now? Thank you so much. So, first, when the flame of anger suddenly rises, the most important thing we need to do is stay calm. By giving ourselves time to take a deep breath and repeat coming words in our mind. Khoi, take it easy. Khoi, take it easy. This short pause helps you bring the flame back under control and use it to light the torch before it turns into a wildfire. After you calm down, the next step is you think carefully about what you're gonna talk to others. And when you finish, express your frustration or your discomfort clearly, but without hurting the person in front of you. Looking back at that night with my girlfriend, everything happened in just a few seconds. If I had taken a deep breath, paused for just a moment, and responded more respectfully, our talk could keep going without tension, and she would not cry. That painful loss became my ultimate wake-up call. It taught me that calming down in the heat of the moment is only half the battle. The real work is understanding why the fire started in the first place. So, at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, take a few minutes to reflect on the moments when you got angry, to identify which factors triggered your anger, and find every possible solution to prevent it from happening again. In my story, it's very clear, right, that my anger came from my girlfriend's complaints at the moment when I was already exhausted. The reason she complains was that I didn't spend much time with her and didn't tell her that I'm so busy with many deadlines. So the possible solution here is that my girlfriend and I should open up about the problems we were both facing and figure out the way to get through this tough time together. You can see that through this process of reflection, you can uncover the root cause of your anger, and from that, you can think about the ways to deal with it effectively. And the last tip I'm going to share will help you hold the torch more steadily, and that is taking a time out and doing exercise. As we discussed earlier, pressure is one of the main reasons causing us to become aggressive and lose control. In my case, I got angry and had zero patience left for the person I loved because my pressure has accumulated for many weeks. So it's very important to release our discomfort by having a specific plan for work and also for breaks. Though breaks can be short, can be long, but they give our mind time to relax and recover. Another thing that I suggest adding to your plan is time for exercise. Is there anyone here who usually does yoga or plays sports like soccer, basketball, swimming, badminton? Please raise your hand. Okay. Do you feel happy, energized after doing these activities? Yes. Exercising activates the production of endorphins, reducing the stress and bringing the level of happiness. And when your stress level decreases, it becomes much easier to stay calm and react thoughtfully. And these are 3 tips for managing our anger and nurturing our calmness. To sum it up, to be a boss of your anger is a long and challenging journey. In the beginning, when you get into this journey, you may find it difficult for yourself to control your behaviors during your anger. But you should remember that when you fail to develop emotional management, you will hurt yourself and hurt someone as well. So I hope after my speech, before you go to sleep, take a few minutes to reflect on the moment when you got angry. You become aggressive to identify which factors triggered your anger and looking for every possible solution to prevent it from happening again. Lastly, I would like to put an end for my speech by the quote of Mr. Wright Bennett, an American author of well-known book, Light in Your Heart. He said that, "Don't waste your time in anger, regrets, worries, and grudges. Life too short to be unhappy." Life gives us many beautiful moments, so don't let the anger stop you from enjoying this beautiful life. So, I encourage every young people here, always stay calm to live happily and live fully. Thank you for listening.